Hey everyone, Mark the Movie Man here. So glad you could join me today. Yes, we've got another indie horror film on the chopping block for you, but this time we head over to France and open up The Black Gate. The Black Gate is directed by Guillaume Baillard and Fabrice Martin and written by Fabrice Martin. We get the story of a brother and sister who have an uncle who's a very odd man. He's a scientist, but also into black magic and exploring magic. And well, when the brother and sister meet up again, the sister wants to go find out why she hasn't heard from her uncle in a while. She got a message from him, and so they go to figure out what is he up to. Well, soon they find themselves caught up between a group of robbers and supernatural horror beings who want to destroy the world. And so we see how these two decide to try to close the Black Gate before the apocalypse gets spread across the earth. This is a wild film. It had kind of the spirit of Tomb of the Blind Dead in many ways, had that bit of Italian horror style to it as far as use of colors and shadings and the way they handled the material. It is a very kinetic film too. This film really moves. It opens up with this very rather graphic scene, and then we get the flashback of all the events that led up to that scene. I dug this story quite a bit, especially the story about this book that no one could really read, and the Black Gate, and there's these supernatural beings, and then you enter in these crooks who end up crossing paths with the brother and sister. I didn't expect these characters to show up, and they end up getting involved as well. And yeah, it is a very interesting story, a bit chaotic. You've got to pay attention because this thing moves fast, but I did like the stylized look to it. It definitely has its own characteristics. There's a lot of composite work as well as color correction and playing with the color palette and such. So that might take some people aback because it is made on a lower budget, but I like the fact that they just went all out for this one. They had the ability and they just went for it, and I give mad respect for them doing that. There's also practical effects in here. Zombies show up. It's got it's got a sword swinging, and there's a katana in here as well. There's people possessed. There's just, it's got everything in it. Now, the performers in here, the brother and sister are David and Sarah. David is played by Nicolas Cochet, and Janine Dessart plays Sarah, and I liked these two quite a bit. You feel for them. They're a bit opposite. Sarah believes more in this stuff, where David's trying to forget this stuff, and they become, as things escalate further, we see how they're actually brought back together, especially when things get totally wild and they do discover the title object that's the title of the film. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff in here. Now, it is subtitled, which may throw people off, but it is out on Amazon. The ending, I will say, is a bit nihilistic in some ways, in many ways, and I kind of wish they would have went a different way with the ending, but it made sense within the context of the film, but I kind of was hoping for a slightly different ending. But given the rest of the tone and the character of this movie, it's not a big surprise it went where it did. So there you have it, folks. The Black Gate can be found on Amazon if you're looking for something a little different, like foreign indie films that are made on a lower budget, but man, the effects that they just throw in here, definitely give it character. So please, if you have seen this film, leave your comments down below. Love to hear your constructive thoughts on The Black Gate. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. We got a lot of great stuff there for some reasonable tiers, and I'm putting new content up there all the time. Subscribe here so you can keep up with all the great stuff that's coming to our channel, especially this summer. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.